Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. Today is April 5th, and I was awakened this morning listening to the news as I am most mornings, and there were news reporters gloating, really having a fine time over some phenomena that was quite peculiar. I'm sure many of you in America viewed the same thing. A young boy, a high school kid, who was able to play baseball. He was able to catch, able to play in the field, and one of the best hitters. The phenomenon was that this young man only had one arm. He could wear a glove, catch a ball, pull the glove off while throwing the ball up out of the glove and catching it with that hand, and throwing runners out. And amazingly, when at bat, take that bat with one hand, I guess he was a mighty strong kid, and get his hits. Now, many people would not be able to do that. There are many people who have one arm, would never try that. But this young man, successful as he is, because he had the will to be successful. The thing that got my attention is that he was posted within a week, maybe less, and had over 6.5 million views. 6.5 million views. One-arm youngster, young one-arm phenomena, catch a baseball, throw people out, and bat. The strange thing about this is, though, is how people choose to see that which is spectacular. Now, there's a lot of things that's going on in the country that you think if someone was able to address, it would get the same type of viewership. Person comes up with the internet, he's able to do all the wonderful things that the internet does and post it, and all kinds of things happen. But that is expected. When you see people stumbling and fall down some stairs and it's posted, and in a little while they can have 1 million clicks. That can be kind of strange sometimes. But the most strangest thing is that in a society where people are constantly suffering, where people are constantly complaining about inadequacies of their lives, whether it's pertaining to their food and their clothing and their shelter, or education, or jobs, or salaries, health care, things that are so essential for the public. 300 million here in the USA. And then someone can come along and say, I have a solution to all of these problems that I've just articulated here. This person can write this information down, make this information available on pamphlets and on the pulpits of the churches, on street corners, running for public office, and do it for quite some time. In fact, could even post over 1,000 videotapes or video recordings on Facebook and YouTube. Solutions that would allow people to be able to achieve their dreams without lying and cheating and stealing and exploiting, terrorizing, or killing and war. This seems to be something that the whole world, not just Americans, would be very receptive for and extraordinarily happy. And yet, if you took the thousands of videos that's posted on YouTube and Facebook, compiled them together with the same kind of message, you wouldn't be able to get any more than 1,000, possibly 2,000 total views for over 1,000 or so videos, which means that basically on average you got one viewer, maybe 2 or 3 viewers stretching it, to each video that pertains the liberation of humankind. something that people get on their knees and pray for. People go to church and talk about. Politicians promise it. And yet someone can come along with only compassion, only a desire to eliminate that which caused so much pain. And the attention that it gets is maybe 1, 2, 3 viewers that would check it out. News media won't even talk about it, whether it's on the newspapers or television or radio. No one wants to touch it. That would make me ask a question. Why is that? So I'd like to ask you, my friends, my sisters, and my brothers, why is that? I know many of you would say that you don't pay attention because you don't believe that that is possible. You don't believe that anyone would come along and share that with you. And yet, many of you say you believe in a God that you have not seen. But you have confidence enough to go to church and sing in the choirs and be in the Sunday schools and give your tithes and offerings. And yet when one says this is the solution to the problem and want to share it with you, no one is interested. Why do you say that happens? Give that some thought. Give it some serious thought, ladies and gentlemen. Because that one who has been sharing this information over 30 years, who's been out in the wilderness over 40 years to be molded, to be educated about the ways of life, to be able to stand before you and say these kinds of things with all assurance and authority that comes from God. No one is interested. Literally, not interested. That's something I think you should ponder. I have. Thank you for listening.